But later on, when it comes to the strategic use of the Eternal Guard, maybe then there'll be some kind of trade back with that IMU.
This is why it's so expensive for that flex, that Guinevere.
Yeah.
Because the Fanny is always, you kind of always have to respect it against Alter Ego or Bigatron. Because they had to ban that Fanny, Export was left open. This is one of the best picks against this kind of composition. Shreds you through just with a War Axe.
If they go with a Ice Queen's one build as well, it is extra bit of utility. It hasn't been as popular though, so I don't think that will be the case. But later on during the Lord dances, a Vexana, a Gwyn, a Tigreal, and an X-Borg. There's a lot of ways for Bigatron to move in and out here in that dance.
Second Clint pick as well. One of the only viable choices for brands. I mean, the other option was Brody, but against the composition of Bigatron, it might work better.
No, I think the Clint was is a good call on the Clint here. Up against the X-Borg too. You use your Torn Apart Memory on the X-Borg, you only get the Faraga armor, not crazy value on the Brody. So makes sense for them to actually go for the Clint. The only problem is, the reason they banned Claude and Bruno isn't really for the matchup of carry, it's more so to take away the heroes that can bring Purify. Clint, even earlier, Skylar, Flicker. Against so much CC, he had to go Flicker. So we'll see if Brands actually goes Purify, but I think high chance that he won't.
I think it's almost required against this composition, against a team like Bigatron.
And that it is, ladies and gentlemen, the final best of 3 series of week number 1 here at Mpl ID Season 13. To close things out, we are going to have a battle between Bigatron Alpha and Evos Glory as we head into the Land of Dawn for game number 1.
Whew. Just like that, we're off. Looking at the emblems, Van Strong has the focusing mark, so he is attempting to be a lot more aggressive right here. But keep in mind that this Gwyn is, we haven't seen this Gwyn at all today, and I think we're going to see great usage out of it.
I guess it depends on comfort, right? I guess Super Ken's picked this up a lot. It's definitely a power hero and a comfort hero for Super Ken, so he does bring that into the jungle. Like you mentioned earlier on, Brands on the Clint does go for the, already very aggressive in the early game.
Yikes. That's the first blood picked up by Super Ken, just like that. That's the setup potential. And that is also, by the way, the Vexana value, right? The crowd control is actually so difficult to dodge in the early game, level 2, level 3. It's almost a guaranteed, successful gank. Not always a kill, but the gank will definitely pay dividends, just like that. Bigatron taking some tempo to try and pull ahead of Evos Glory.
There's definitely a lot of things that they were able to take here in the early stage of the game. You can see Iman also leading that gold lane. Was Bronze able to take that away?
No.
I don't think so, no.
I guess not. Well, the carry once again, shows that even against some lane bullies, the sustain really is helping out the matchup. And I think Iman is just really good at really abusing it, knowing his limits, knowing the cooldowns as well, just triggering it whenever possible to ensure that if it's going to be a trade battle, Brands might just run out of mana before Iman is forced to leave the lane.
Let's shift our focus a little, right? Now the turtle has spawned. Both junglers at the same level as Van goes for what looks like a gank, perhaps? He actually decides against it, but he has to be careful. Oh, he actually knows!
Spatial migration, no Violet Requiem here. They're just trying to bait it out, and Van actually did pop the Turtles of Poisonza. Very late Violet Requiem, but Super Ken is all the way in the front. Veldora picks him up. No jungler for Bigatron Alpha. It's Evos Glory with the better setup right now. Warlord holding it down. Last Insanity onto Torizo. 2-man implosion. Moreno with the Eternal Guard. Moreno with a steal over the Turtle despite having no jungler. It's Bigatron Alpha who secures it. Torizo, though, will not be able to survive this one. It's 2 kills over, and even the solo kill in Mondo. Barely able to get out Brants. Doing a good job in that gold lane.
What in the world? That turtle steal from Moreno. Super Ken was off the board already. That was Evos' turtle to win. And yet he was able to take it away. Did Van use Retry?
I don't think he got to use it, honestly, because of the play, right?
Implosion,
the explosion and the push. Form Key just stunned him long enough for the steal to happen. And again, that's a Vexana damage. It's a great play to salvage a less than ideal situation, but the fact that Super Ken got picked off so early on, I feel like that is something that Bigatron Alpha needs to try and, you know, chill a bit with, because they have all the quicker, more surprising engages. There's no need for you to overextend that far ahead. Eventually, the box shield will come rolling down to you.
You know, your DMs are going to be filled after this, Miracle.
Good shield unity over and hard guard. Spatial migration, no hard guard now. Even, actually, the Tortoise's Poissons used there, so they did bait 2 big ultimates.
That's the difficult part about going up against the Guinevere too, man.
Yeah.
You never know when he's actually fully committing, and the spatial migration leaves an extra body there, right? A clone almost. So the single target damage from Evos, some of it's going to be absorbed by that, just, you know, just because of how chaotic the fights do get. So that is another extra benefit of picking this Guinevere.
At this point, still quite equal between both of these teams. You don't see a particular big gold gap between. Bigatron holds just a little, but it doesn't look like Evos Glory are far behind. Super Ken as well as Van here both hit level 7 at the same time. But in terms of composition, now that we've entered the 5th minute of the game, who has a better chance here on the turtle?
Yeah, Bigatron definitely still has it. Evos has to be a bit more careful with all the potential combos, but now only 3 members down, they're outnumbered.
Oh, spatial migration cancelled. He goes for the clone. Veldora is chasing him down. Warlord, Last Insanity, not able to connect right now. Whoa. A few more shots, he should be able to get it. But Super Ken now with a get back over. Veldora is able to kite him away. Chorizo's burning Warlord down now with Last Insanity. Not able to connect just yet though. Veldora, a good zone from him and a good neutral objective contest for Evos Glory.
Yeah, Van was able to secure that turtle, no problem, without any distractions, as they were able to chase the members of Bigatron away into the corner in the top side and a kill. So it was a win for Evos, but why does Bigatron hold the gold lead?
I think it's mainly in the hands of Eman right there. What is this, like almost 2K?
Swapped it. That's Iman should be with brands.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
all the way down there. It's about 1K still. 1K
Yeah.
gold lead, which is still significant. So, of course, Evos is holding the tempo right now, and they're doing a lot to really shut down Super Ken, because they do have an abundance of single target damage and catch. But as they're doing this, it's almost reminiscent of match number 2. The carry in the hands of Iman have been left alone, and that is literally the opposite of their win condition. So we'll see if they have plans later on. After shutting down maybe the rest of the team and Super Ken, how are they going to try and deal with Iman?
Wait, what is he doing?
Trying to just get some space, I believe, for Iman right now. I mean, he's successfully zoning them away from the turret, buying enough time for Iman to actually deal enough damage to the turret. Not going to be able to take it down just yet, though, as Van pops in a Tortoise Poissons now onto Moreno. Implosion and out of knockup to disengage. A few good shots. Key force the flicker back. Bigatron not able to find a turret, but it is super low there. Key has to recall, and it might just be Evos Glory's turret to take it to bot side. Already, all the members rotating over to the bottom lane. Shield unity once again from Van. Just one shot from Brands on that passive. Meanwhile, Chorizo actually is getting a lot of good hits, but he's not going for the turret. He's actually denying minions as much as possible from Veldora.
So moving to the mid lane to cover, and what that was is a bit of a mind game, right? I think Evos Glory was thinking that there's definitely people behind the concealed Tigreal, but the fact that Key has done it once, now whenever he walks up, Evos Glory are going to be left guessing, okay? Like, is this an engage, or is this once again a feint to push us away?
Chorizo's doing some work though.
Shutting it down. Van looking for a flank right now, and Monster targeted down by Veldora. Chased down all the way, but he's still going to be able to escape right now. Super Ken pops in that defensive spatial migration. Chorizo loses Faraga armor, and Veldora is still in the back zoning with the hard guard. Key! Implosion onto a lot of members, but Vanstrom was able to escape, and it is a win for Evos Glory. The neutral objective control with Veldora's zoning, and they are trying to transition over into the mid lane. No implosion for BTR, but they will be able to clear 2-1 in Turtles.
Very impressive. Great decisive plays coming in from Evos Glory. This is what you want to see. But again, you can see that they are struggling to really chase down Bigatron Alpha. Later on, even if they do have an advantage, they're going to have to settle for not having some really strong lockdown, just relying on the movement speed buff and the slows in order to get those fights they really want to get in the mid game.
There you go. Brands gets a tower in the bottom side. He's going to be able to push that. It looks like Carry is looking for something similar. Amon there with the help of Super Ken, possibly being able to get this buff away from Van. but it feels like the composition from Evos, it's so aggressive, it's so dive heavy, and Bigatron doesn't really have an answer other than the implosion coming in from Key that he doesn't really follow up as well.
Well, there's that, but if they tunnel too much on Key and the implosion, don't forget the Eternal Guard is a very strong area of effect knockup, and so is the spatial migration. This is why it gets very difficult. You can't really just watch out for one because technically it's like a mini implosion, right? The spatial migration and the Eternal Guard, so they have options to play around with here. And the Terrify is definitely a great solution for a full speed box ship.
Let's see. Has it been timed properly? I don't understand what's been going on in these team fights because technically with what you mentioned, that Bigatron Alpha, they have such a strong wombo combo, right? They have Super Ken, Moreno, as well as Key. Is it that Evos Glory, every time they go for these team fights, they go for different directional approach rather than clumping up as one?
They kind of keep their distance and position well. I do feel like, on paper at least, I think Evos Glory should be the ones kind of pulling ahead here. The fact that Bigatron are not just keeping steady, but having a goal advantage by the macro plays, I feel like that is testament to how well they're playing the fights.
A Warlord walks up! Last Insanity used already. Iman actually popped his ultimate there. So that's a pretty useful resource that Evos will definitely have timed down. And they only had to waste a Valentina ult. That should be up very, very soon. It's actually already back up so he can go and steal one of these big ultimates.
Vanstrong's still in the top side though. He's trying to clear, giving Evos a little bit of an advantage here, as he can always just hard guard back into the team fight when it's needed. Are they going to handle that? Is Bigatron going to go up, send someone up there?
Well, they're committing here. And Evos, this is what they want to be doing. This is where Bigatron are the ones who should be making a fight happen.
Implosion from Veldora there, onto Veldora. Moreno getting back, Iman still free, hitting the last Insanity from Warlord, and a splash to kill Iman. Chorizo in the back, now Brands looking for the chase, flickers forward, Chorizo is down. Moreno's following next with Veldora, chasing him all the way. Super Ken is forced to run all the way under the turret, and Veldora's chasing. One more hit under the turret, a complete wipeout. Evos Glory take control of the game.
Minute 11, and that's everything that we were given. A wiped out, a Lord, as well as a lot of pressure down in the top side. As you can see, Van already there going to munch on those turrets. And the mid falls as well. This is the best case scenario that Evos Glory could wish for.
Just like that, an instant 3.5k to 4k gold lead secured in a blink of an eye for Evos Glory. That is the kind of fight they would want to have. The combo didn't really land together. It seems like two members of Bigatron realized the severity of the situation and they wanted to go for that engage. But then you see Key and I believe Super Ken just engage at the same time, so they didn't really get to use the full wombo combo. Now with a goal disadvantage, they're gonna have to try and defend, but with a Vexana, I think this will be possible. It is only one of the earlier lords after all.
Liking a lot of damage now. Against the sustain of Evos, they've been able to take these prolonged team fights, and now with the Lord, this is actually going to be cleared out quite easily by Bigatron, but Warlord and Chorizo are going at it up top. Warlord has been doing a great job at utilizing the last Insanity. Spatial migration with the Violet Requiem, now locking down Fan, and he's going to be instantly deleted with Implosion as well onto Veldora, but he pops into Vengeance. Now, shoved back to the team, 1 HP shut down for Bigatron Alpha. The Lord advantage play was not in favor of Evos.
That was a beautiful, beautiful defense. Van taking out Veldora. We can see a concealed play happening. Do they want to go for a little bit more here, as it looks like they're chasing down Evos Glory. They find no one and they retreat.
Seems like the Pokemon will fall victim to Super Ken though. To take a look at the items, Iman is one more item away from full build.
Full damage.
It's like half a item ahead of Brands. But that's where it is. There's still a lot of damage in the hands of Bigatron, and when you get engaged on like that, it seems like the first engage was already like surprising enough for Evos. The Lord kind of baited them into a false sense of security. But afterwards, it's that combo, man, and with the Vexana dropping the Eternal Guard, it's just too difficult.
Wow. Oh, what a catch onto Brands. The flicker and the tough boots, though, gets him out, and this might just be it. The reinitiation, the re-engage Key will fall in the back. They actually will let Key go. They will sacrifice Key for the rest of the team. A flicker for Brands for the life, and a flicker for Key.
That was nearly a good engage. There's no follow-up.
It was an impressive play by Key to actually be in the right place and actually get Brands of all people, one of the main carries from Evos Glory, but unfortunately, just not enough damage, not enough lockdown just yet. So now it's back to the waiting game. And you can see Vanstrong is already in place. Evos Glory knows what they're doing. They're the ones playing textbook. They have to just cruise to a victory. Victor and Alpha are the ones who have to try and be creative right here. So otherwise, it's a matter of time kind of deal. Unless they really want to stall it out to 20 minutes by defending the base. But, you know, usually, we haven't seen Bigatron Alpha play that style for a long, long time.
Slow push in the bottom lane. Super can already chunk low. Veldora doing a good job at zoning them again. Once again, dropping back. Eternal Guard. Amon doing a lot of damage on the van. Actually, almost laying bad. The Lord might just do it. But Veldora again in the back is just slicing through the back line. Moreno's going to be next right now as Key is there. But look at the vengeance. And Moncart in a bad spot, but he's able to actually look for the outplay. Vanstrong 1 HP. A few hits. Amon with the flicker out to safety as the last Insanity does not connect. But the Lord was slain, and it was slain by
Brands.
Evos.
Yeah, Brands was able to take that because Van was taken out in the final moments before Key was taken out. So that was a plethora of chaos and just energy everywhere. But in the end, it was Evos Glory being able to take that Lord. It's marching down in the bottom side. There is still a few more seconds for Keat and Super Ken, but it shouldn't be a problem as they're going to be standing back as 5.
Bigatron once again can clear. They have Iman to really shred down the Lord, but Evos now, they have seen the play coming from Bigatron. They will be a bit more prepared. And that range difference that the plane brings in the hands of Brands is definitely going to be very valuable in the siege. But look at that.
Bye.
Zone it away, shred it down. That's the Lord just deleted by Bigatron. They can keep doing this for quite a while.
That was so quick. You would expect Evos to be able to get a little bit more with that, but the fast clear coming in from both Sorizo as well as Eman is insane. The inhibitor turret in the bottom side does fall though, thankfully for Evos Glory.
Yeah, with that range, Brands just snipes it out. Now it's back to the waiting game, and I do wonder if Bigatron are trying to go for some other play, a play that's a bit more aggressive before the Lord is up. Because when the Lord is up, that's the signal for Evos Glory to set up for that split push, for Vanstrong to move away from the whole team. If you can see right now, they're all grouping together. That pressure from the macro play isn't available unless the Lord or something else is in play, but Super Ken loses his purple buff to Van.
But that should be predictable now though, right? Bigatron should know by now that whenever they go for a Lord fight, Vanstrong always goes to the far lane to clear. And with an EXP laner like Sorizo, do you think he has enough movement speed to tackle that problem and maybe go for a 1v1, eliminate him out of the entire equation?
Well, before we get on that, let's take a look at the replay here where that's just the CC and Angela combo once again. Even against a well-farmed carry with backup, by the way. It was just a bit too tanky. The sustain seems to be the main issue here. Whether or not the X-Bor can spring a trap for Vanstrong on Angela, I think he lacks the crowd control and the damage to burst her down. Worst case scenario, the X-Bor shows up, tries to go for a big play, and Vanstrong can just hard guard into someone. But maybe if he gets caught off guard, that could be a possibility.
Good poke from Warlord. The Malefic Aurora was built up already. Look at Key's positioning as well. Very, very deep in enemy lines. Maybe looking for a flank. Warlord does have Purify, so it's not the right target if they do want to go for something big.
I think they're looking for Angela, no? I think they were looking for Vanstrong, but Vanstrong, see, this is the mind game play again. He knows that he knows that he knows, you know?
Yep.
Same story.
It's a weird chess match.
All about the hold on the Lord right now, and Van pops in that shield unity. Vanstrong finally revealing himself. Oh, spatial migration. The Lord actually knocked him up. Veldora jumping on the Amon. Flicker out. Implosion. To disengage right now. Sorizo's dealing some damage back on towards enemy team. Veldora, Vengeance now jumping on the Amon. Rose Gold Meteor there already. Meanwhile, Sorizo is going to be isolated. Super Ken jumps back forward. The sustained battle by Evos and BTR. It ends with a stalemate. Both teams disengaging again.
This is good though. This is good for Bigatron. They were able to buy some time. Amon wasn't picked off, thankfully, with his mechanics. And now Evos, they want to reset for sure. But Super Ken already opening up the board once again. You see that Van is in the vicinity. And look at again, see Van Strong always in the top lane, pushing. They're going to lose that top inhibitor turret if this continues.
He knows his job. And honestly, for Bigatron, if they trade like that with no deaths but low HP bars, Evos Glory can heal up again, and it seems like they're trying to go for another play.
Implosion, onto 2, spatial migration with Battle Requiem, Immortality. Veldora bought it just in time right now as Warlord jumps into the back line, but look at him on, just bursting him down. And now he loses that last insanity HP. Warlord's 1 HP, Brands is doing a lot of damage, save Warlord, but that delayed basic attack finally reached Warlord. So far, it's still worth it for BTR, but if they lose this base turret, it might not be. Van Strong is getting ran down, but he has that flicker to get out. 2 for 0, but for a base turret. Bigatron needs to go for an Enhanced Lord, or it's not going to be value for them.
Looks like they're racing there. Key already on the way. You can see Iman not far behind. It looks like trying to blitz this, and they need to as soon as possible and pray that Van doesn't go for a drive-by, seeing as Van Strong is up and available if they want to.
There's a bunch of card control, so Evos Glory let it go. Finally, a huge swing in momentum with this Lord. The macro play will no longer be in the hands of Evos Glory. This is their chance. They're gonna have to manipulate the waves, trying to make something happen. And you can see Key already being so proactive, but he's alone.
Just trying to get that vision down. As long as they know where the Baksha is. Oh, he actually baited out Poissons there.
The mind games. Just keeps going for plays without any backup.
Yeah, you would not think that the Tiger will be alone, right?
Exactly. So Evos, they just kept guessing, and maybe now he's gonna make a big play. Watch for him, possibly going for a big flank. But look at the towers equalizing. This is exactly what Bigatron has been looking for.
Key conceal.
Oh, Implosion onto the back right now. That's a follow-up right into! It was Brez that was caught by Key! And that truly is the key to victory. They found the main carry. Now last insanity to the back. Warlord with a flicker forward, but it's a triple kill for Iman. He's looking for Maniac, maybe looking for the Savage right here. It's a Maniac, and it might just be the first Savage of Season 13. Iman!
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Bigatron take game number 1 in this best of 3 series with, like you mentioned, the first Savage here at Mpl ID Season 13. It was looking tough. It was looking bleak. But finally, Bigatron were able to find their rhythm, find their tempo, and find that combo that we were looking out for from the first seconds of that game.
We saw him, man. Sneaky beaky. Just hiding us